Shri Gajanana Jai Jai Gajanana Moria. Shri Gajanana Jai Jai Gajanana Moria. Section 1, Khand 1, Chapter 1, Srimad Mudgal Puran. Dialogue between Saunaka and Suta. Shri Saraswati Namaha, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. By the grace of Ganesha, we have attempted the English translation of Shri Mudgal Puran, verse by verse. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. I meditate with a single pointed focus on Ganesha, who lives in the hearts of all yogis. He is the Absolute One, who enlightens the buddhi and bestows all siddhis. He is described by describing various Brahmas. Ganesha has created all these Brahmas, the collection of various universes, and has conquered them all. Though he is without attributes, Nirguna, he assumes various forms with attributes, Saguna forms, to protect his devotees. He has assumed various incarnations. He has manifested in different forms. I pay obeisance to that Ganesha, whose form is of a human body and an elephant head. The human aspect represents his Saguna form, and the elephant head symbolizes his Nirguna form. Prostrations to Shiva. I offer my humble salutations to the valiant Vishnu. I bow to Surya and Shakti. I bow to you, O Ganesha, who has divided into these four forms. I prostrate to Purana Purusha, the eternal being who commenced the creation. I always bow to that Paramatma, Supreme Spirit, and to Brahma, Seshnag, Nara Narayana, and Parama Purana Purusha with wholehearted devotion. I always wholeheartedly surrender to Devas, Yogis, and great Maharshis to enable me to acquire the knowledge in the Puranas. In the previous Kalpa, Shaunaka and other Munis who were virtuous and accomplished in sadhana lived in the Naimisharanya forests, fearful of the defects of Kali when total decadence was present in Kali Yuga. They had heard from Brahmadeva that it was in this forest that Munis should reside in the Kali Yuga to observe their dharma, perform karmas, and acquire jnana siddhis, attainment of the highest wisdom. They had also heard from Brahma that in order to be free from the sinful effects of Kali Yuga and earn punya, they should strive to listen to the Puranas regularly. Once a Sutta, expounder of the Vedas, named Lomaharshana, arrived in this forest to meet the sages. He was well versed in the Puranas and a scholar. He was amazed by the splendor of the Naimisharanya forests. He thought that the vast forests, which are unaffected by the defects of Kali Yuga, were indeed blessed. He observed that the Munis who resided there were happy. The Munis observed their dharma and were engrossed in fulfilling their duties by performing nitya and naimittika karmas, daily prayers and casual acts of piety. The Munis would regularly and eagerly perform the 5 yajnas and study Vedas. As a result, divine radiance emanated from them, akin to the flames of Agni, fire. Such was the radiance of Shaunaka, other Maharshis and Yogis. Well versed in the Vedas, it appeared that the sun and the stars did not set on Naimisharanya. Thereafter, the illustriate Romaharshana Sutta greeted everyone respectfully by performing such Sashtanga Namaskar. He joined his palms in reverence and bowed humbly with devotion. Sutta, with great respect towards the saints, spoke humbly in a sweet voice. He maintained control over his Sharira. Sharira is a physical body. This means that he did not sneeze, cough, hiccup, etc., which would be a sign of disrespect. Sutta said, O the greatest among Munis, today my lineage, parents, clan, age, vidya, wisdom, vrata, penance, tapas, and knowledge, jnana have been blessed. Even the Devas are desirous of such blessings. Due to my merits, Punya Karmas, I have been blessed with the darshana of your holy lotus feet, by which inauspiciousness has been destroyed. Brahmins who comprehend Brahma are the form of the Brahma. By their darshana, all beings become accomplished. I reiterate that I have become accomplished. There is no doubt about it. By your mere darshana, I have been liberated from the ocean of worldly existence. All the ascetic Brahmins replied to the devout and virtuous Lomarshana Sutta, O illustrious Sutta, O meritorious Sutta, do stop. We have become content by your presence. Having said this, the Munis offered him an asana. The distinguished and eminent Sutta humbly seated himself. The most distinguished amongst the Munis and beloved Muni of the Bhrigu race, Shaunaka, said to him, O eminent Sutta, you are omniscient and have granted happiness to all. You have worshipped the most scholarly Pandit, Krishna Dvipayana Rishi, Vyasa Rishi. You have been blessed by him. Vyasa Rishi was the incarnation of Narayana and was Narayana himself. He compiled and classified the Vedas and Puranas. O Punyavardhana, you are his disciple and have learned the Itihasa, including the Mahabharata and Ramayana, and the Puranas from him. As a result, you are omniscient. Obeying the command of Brahmadeva, we are hiding in Naimisharanya from Kala, Lord of Death, in the form of the evil and sinful Kali Yuga. You have arrived here to enhance our punya by narrating the Puranas. You are virtuous, extremely brilliant, and preceptor of the Puranas. Kali does not stay where Puranas are taught. Hence, O Lord, bestow your grace on us and narrate the Puranas. O virtuous one, we reiterate that it is because of our immense merits, punya, that we have the good fortune to be blessed by your darshana. O blessed Sutta, you are truly the destroyer of doubts. By dispelling doubts, your listeners experience an exciting thrill of joy. Hence, you are also referred to as Romaharshana, causing the hair to bristle or stand erect. When Shaunaka Maharshi requested thus, Sutta was pleased and commenced the sacred narration. He said, Vyasa had bestowed his divine grace on me. I am accomplished today because of him. I shall recount what I had learnt from him. Saying thus, Sutta narrated all the Puranas in entirety and serially. They contained several legends and discussed many aspects of Dharma. These legends were prosperity bestowing, could accomplish the Purusharthas, that is Dharma, righteousness, Artha, material well-being, Kama, enjoyment, and Moksha, liberation from worldly ties. And listening to them destroyed unhappiness. They could bestow upon with the divine Brahma Bhuta. They contained information with different perspectives. He narrated the Puranas. He discoursed on some auxiliary Puranas, Upapuranas, and the Itihasas chronologically. The legends bestowed the four Purusharthas, the four aims of human life, namely duties, Dharma, material well-being, Artha, fulfillment of desires, Kama, and liberation, Moksha. They also granted merits, Punya. Listening to them repeatedly, the eminent rishis were filled with happiness. They were overwhelmed with devotion. Their contentment reflected in their behavior. In this manner, they endeavored to spend their time in the Kali Yuga, happily listening to the Puranas. After listening to the Itihasas and Puranas, even the great Munis were perplexed, as they presented conflicting opinions. They were unable to decide what part of Dharma was most agreed upon. Therefore, they asked Mahamuni Shaunaka. They asked, O illustrious Sutta, listen to our queries in brief. After listening to the various Puranas, we are bewildered. We are confused as to who is superior and who is not. There is no consensus. How are we to decide on the subject? In some legends, Shankara is the greatest, in some, Vishnu is the greatest, and in some other legends, Ravi, Surya, or Sun, Shakti, Ganesha, Viraja, or their incarnations are described as the most supreme. Some say the most supreme is Brahma, others say that it is Yoga, Jnana, Karma, Atma, Prana, vital force, or Mana, mind. Some others say that it is Buddha. Some consider Sankhya or Swananda as the supreme. Hence, we are unable to decide conclusively due to these different perspectives. Therefore, based on the true meaning of Vedas and Shastras and the precepts accepted by all, please elucidate only one Purana which will clarify all our doubts. When asked thus, Suta, the most eminent and brilliant disciple of Vyasa, narrated the essence of all Shrutis and Smritis contained in one Purana. Suta said, O Munis, listen to the Purana narrated by Mudgala, which is the essence of all Smritis and Shrutis and acknowledged by all. Many years ago, a yajna conducted by Daksha was destroyed. Rudras arrived unexpectedly and created a great obstacle. The ferocious Rudras defeated all Devas. Veerabhadra beheaded Daksha. Brahmadeva arrived and persuaded Shankara in various ways. Thereafter, Shankara with his yogic powers revived Daksha. As his yajna was destroyed, Daksha was greatly distressed. Daksha, influenced by a curse, was engulfed in a veil of ignorance and was baffled. An eminent yogi named Mudgal Muni, well versed in the doctrines of Vedas and Shastras, manifested, spreading radiance akin to sunrise. Mudgala was the most profound and acclaimed amongst all the devotees of Ganesha. He was an epitome of penance and karma. Seeing the Mahamuni, Daksha stood up and bowed to him. He offered an asana, performed his puja with reverence, and said, O effulgent Muni, the descendant of Angiras, I bow to you. You are revered by all. I am numbed by sorrow caused by the destruction of the yajna. Please protect me. Mudgala said, O Daksha, you are the most superior amongst all the kings who protect their subjects. Do not worry. Remember Vigna Raja and nothing will be impossible. Thus ends the first chapter titled Dialogue between Shaunaka and Suta in the first khanda of Srimad Mudgal Mahapuran, containing the legends of Vakratunda as a dialogue between Shaunaka and Suta. Dedicated to Sri Gajanana. End of chapter 1.